Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Instinct Bassin. Thanks so much for tuning in. In today's video, we're gonna go over 5 items that I think you gotta have in your boat. These are kind of non-standard items that most people wouldn't think about, so I'm not including a life jacket or a fire extinguisher and that type of thing. I think you'll get some good useful info out of it, so stay tuned and let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to try to keep this video under 5 minutes long, but before we get started, be sure to check out the gpsstore.com. They've helped out the channel a lot this year, and I would definitely appreciate it if you give some back to them. If you're looking for any kind of good marine electronics, be sure to give them a look, and they'll be sure to help you out. Also, make sure if you are over 40, you get that colon cancer screening. I'm going to keep saying that in every video until hopefully we get as many people as we can to go ahead and get that done. You just don't want to neglect that stuff, and it's very important. All right, so item number 1 is, and these aren't in any particular order, these are just things I happen to have on my boat, and I want to share this with you. Number 1 is an extra set of boat keys. So you don't want to drop your boat keys into the water and then not have an extra set. It's always a good idea to keep them on your boat and not in the truck, because if you drop them in the water and your truck's on the shore, it's not going to do you any good. So extra set of boat keys will be number 1. This past year I had a big deal with blowing out tires on my trailer. I had some old tires that I had to get replaced. My fault for not checking them as well as I should have. But luckily I had number 2 on my boat, which is a socket set that fit the wheels on my trailer. So make sure you have that either in the boat or at least on the truck as well. It's a good idea to also keep some sort of jack. You can always use your truck jack if you have to, but some kind of mechanism that you can pull the boat, or the trailer up on, I should say, and to make it a lot easier for you. I've got that in my truck. I didn't want to pull it out because it's too cumbersome and everything. But number 2 is a socket set that'll fit the wheels on your trailer. All right, number 3, I don't run into this as much as I did in my last place where I lived down here in Florida, but number 3 is going to be a good set of rain gear. This happens to be the Bass Pro 100 mile an hour brand. I've got the pants over there somewhere hanging up, but I haven't had them in my boat this summer because it's been so hot. But one thing I hate being is cold and wet out on the water. I had a tournament one year where I was just completely miserable, and I just determined never to do it again. So I made sure I get a good set of rain gear. This one's great. It's a little bit expensive, but you do get what you pay for. So make sure that you get a good quality set of rain gear in your boat, and shoes for that matter as well, because you don't want to have a dry body and then wet, cold feet. All right, number 3 is going to be kind of obvious, but you definitely want to make sure that you have it in your boat at all times when you're out on the water, and that is a first aid kit. No matter how many times that I have, hooked myself, or a fish has shaken off and a hook has gotten in my hand and I needed a Band-Aid, and I happen to have this on here. So definitely make sure you have a first aid kit and check it every once in a while to make sure that you have what you need in it. It's not going to do any good to have a first aid kit on your boat if, for instance, you're missing Band-Aids or gauze or whatnot. So definitely make sure you have that in your boat as well. All right, and then my 5th item is going to be a battery booster or battery jumper or battery starter, however you want to call it, something that will start your boat should your battery die. Because you don't want to be out on a body of water, particularly a big body of water, and have a dead battery. Now you can get by if you don't want to spend the money on one of these. Grab a set of jumper cables, and you can potentially use your trolling motor batteries to jump your main batteries, or at least have somebody come by and grab those jumper cables and give you a jump as well. So that is number 5. I've never used this myself on this boat, but I did help out somebody that was stuck in the water as well. So it's a good idea. Even if you don't use these yourself, you may have them for somebody else that's in trouble. All right, and that's gonna do it. Hopefully I kept this as short as possible. I tried to keep it under 5 minutes. Hopefully we're right about there. Again, those are 5 items that I love to keep on the boat that aren't that standard. Something to think about. Hopefully it'll keep you safe out there on the water. Thanks so much for tuning into this one. This is Rob with Instinct Bassin. Trust your gut, and I'll see you on the water.